Every pregnancy needs utmost care and attention. But certain pregnancies need a little extra attention. An RH negative mother carrying an RH positive baby is at increased risk of complications. BSV is at the forefront to ensure safe delivery in every RH negative pregnancy.
Hello and welcome to the mid-show of Women's Cricket Zone and Rev Sports, the outside view between India and South Africa, the final league game of this ICC Women's World Cup. I'm joined by Dane Wanikirk and Boria Majumdar. Important game, India finished 274 for 7, not even closer to a number that we predicted in the pre-show. India have done seemingly well there. But are they short on runs after what we saw the first 40 overs, Boria?
Obviously all of us thought it could be 290, right? I mean, the way they were going. Having said that, 274, if you would have said at the start of the innings in a high-pressure match, a match that India has to win, would you have taken it? You would. Every time you would take a 275. I mean, it's a good score. All said and done, it's a good score. But yes, the way... at that middle period, India was, after that start, I mean, the brilliant start. After that start, even that consolidation between Mithali Raj and Harmanpreet Kaur, you thought, okay, India would have gotten 290, but as I said, 275. South Africa would have to bat really, really well to win this one. And for some reason, I think Deepti Sharma, who no one's talking about, could well be a bowler who is just not from nowhere, comes and picks a couple of wickets. But important at the top, not to let the South Africans tee off.
Dane, we've seen South Africa not giving these many runs except for that match against Australia. Do you feel these are enough runs for India on board? Do you feel South Africa can chase this down? Of course, they have a longer batting unit, but this is a good score by India. And with the way we saw the last 10 overs, it had slowed down quite a bit. Because if a player of Harman's cadre is not able to clear it that well, this pitch does not look like what the pitch India was batting for the first 30 overs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's not a bad score. I mean, 270 is 275 is not easy by any means. And also in a I guess a high pressure game like this, it's definitely not easy. But I believe that Mithali is due a little bit. Might be a little bit biased, but I think Mithali is due. And as you mentioned, they've got a bit of a longer batting lineup, and I think the South Africans might have spoken in length about, their batting plans and. So I'm not saying it's going to be easy by any stretch, but I'm 100% sure they're going to give it a massive go. But I need to give the bowlers credit where it's due. The way they brought it back, as Boria mentioned, it looked like a good 290 to 300 at a stage. So the way the bowlers brought it back, I think they showed that taking pace off the wicket, off the ball and into the wicket is a bit harder to get away. So if India can take a leaf out of their book. The change-ups and stuff, taking pace off, it might be a little bit harder.
It might be a little bit harder. South Africa have already qualified into that semi-finals at number 2 position. If India wins this game, they qualify most likely at that number 4 position to play Australia. England most likely on track to play South Africa in that first semi-final. But let's take a look at that scorecard, what happened, 274 for 7. We saw 350s and a close to 50 by Harman, but 71 of 84 for Smriti Mandhana. But let's talk about that big gun, Shafali Verma, 53 of 46, 68 for Mithali Raj. We predicted it in the pre-show that probably a big day, it's going to be Mithali Raj's day. So all the senior batters have kind of played really, really well. Let's start with Shafali Verma. She's not really senior, but with the way she started, it looked like everyone else struggled. Even Mithali struggled for a bit. Smriti struggled for a bit. The way Shafali batted, she was batting on a different pitch altogether. Boria, what are your thoughts on? We all know how strong Shafali's wrist positions are, the power she generates. but this was a different level of batting that she was, and it was a very unfortunate run out that she got out.
Absolutely. I mean, had that run out not happened at that point, and even if you see when she was getting to her 50, she wasn't slowing down. It was an extraordinarily classy innings. I mean, some of the shots, brilliant shots. This first four was such a good shot to see. And also, do not forget, she actually got the best of batting conditions. The first 10 overs, she used Shabnim Ismail's pace, and what a comeback by Shabnim Ismail. An extraordinary second and third spell to bring South Africa back. Having said that, Shafali actually got the best of batting conditions. 3 overs for 30. She sort of and those innovative shots, she moved away. So clearly, she had tried it once, missed it, tried it again. So it's not as if it was from impulse. It must have been a shot that she had thought about. Brilliant innings. I mean, showed class, showed ability, showed potential. Once again, telling you that you've got to back your match winners. Brilliant innings from Shafali Verma.
Yeah, match winners, very impactful innings, and the way she took out Shabnim Ismail pretty much out of the attack after the first 2 or 3 overs that Shabnim Ismail bowled. Danny, you've seen this particular contest between Shafali and Shabnim even in the past. And the last time I remember the last time Shafali was playing, Shabnim had hit her on that helmet, and she had gone down. And this time it was very different. She was taking Shabnim to all the different corners of the ground.
Yeah, look, it always makes for an interesting contest, especially this youth fearlessness, taking on Shabnim Ismail, that's a legend in her own right, and it's always good to watch these, these battles, and, it happens. I think with I'm not going to say unorthodox, but it sometimes looks a bit unorthodox, but I think Shafali came out today to try and prove a point as well, got dropped a couple of times, and, she had to prove a point, and what better way is to do it against one of the best bowlers in the world. So, look, it's always good to see a battle like that, but again, coming back to Shabnim, the way she came back, it showed her class, it showed her experience, and as Boria mentioned, the way she brought it back, it's so easy to just let things slip after a start like that, but the way she came back as a senior bowler and leading the bowling attack was, for me personally, was really good to see. And obviously I'm a massive fan of Shabs, and it was good to see her come back. But as I said, that fearlessness, it's always nice to see, and I just felt like she had a point to prove, and she definitely proved that point.
She definitely proved that point. That's the reason when it's an important game, it's very important to win the toss, assess those conditions, and then take the right decision. India won the toss in this case. They chose to bat. They took the best 20 or 30 overs of the pitch, and now it is going to be about South Africa to chase this big total down. Let's talk about a few other legends that we have. A lot of people are calling Smriti Mandhana a veteran. She's only 26, 10 years into her international career. Another 50, 22nd ODI 50 for her. Not the best that we see Smriti bat. She certainly struggled in the first few overs, but she more or less took it up in the last few balls that she batted. 84 balls, 71 runs, 6 fours and a 6. That is what she finished with. But the big thing is, it's always told about Smriti that she scores those 50s, but she's not able to convert them into hundreds. And that is what even she says about herself, that I want to convert more hundreds, I want to score more hundreds. But that is not what happens. Even today, the same thing happened. 71 she got out. Boria, what was your thought in that entire Smriti Mandhana innings that we saw? Had she been there till the 45th over, things would have been a lot different.
I'm not sure. I mean, I do think that this wicket did not get easy to bat on. I mean, you say she was not at her flowing best, and I agree with that. But for me, an innings of attrition and an innings where you struggle a little bit more is that much more compelling and makes you that much greater as a player. I mean, when you're on song, it's easy. But when you're not finding it easy to even grind it out, be there, and especially when a Shafali Verma is teeing off at the other end, tuck, and you're like, what's going on? But to hang in there, to grind that out, to be there for your team, I thought was a superb innings, was a superb effort. And even that catch, that was an outstanding catch. I mean, make no mistake, that was a fielder's wicket in every sense. So it was a very important innings, because she could have easily given it away. Had she got out, Shafali Verma would have also sort of tried to stop it, or something like that would have happened. The 96-run stand may not have happened. So, give credit where due. This 71 was priceless. Yes, everyone wants to get 100. How many do? But Smriti Mandhana, the way she batted in this particular World Cup, at least in a high-pressure match today, I thought was very good. Even when Mithali was taking time, it was Smriti who, in that Marizan Cup over, immediately got the run rate to go again, and again changed gears, allowed Mithali to get into her stride. So, yes, let's not be critical. I think it was a very, very good innings.
Very, very good innings. Dane Marizan has told me this in the past, that the batter she hates bowling to is Smriti. Because she's so good on different tracks, and especially her back foot play is one of the best. And that is what Smriti did today to Marizan and the other bowlers. What were your thoughts during that 71 run innings?
Yeah, I have to agree with Boria. I think if you're not hitting flowing base, but you're still scoring 71 in a high pressure situation, and also not scoring it slowly, then it shows your class. So yeah, look, the way that Smriti picks up length, I think let's speak about that. That's the fact. That's why she's so good. That's why she's so good at on the back foot and the front foot, is how quick she picks up length, and she showed her class today once again. Credit to Chloe Tryon. I think she had a great day in the field. Yes, she had that one bit of a mishap, but I think she was incredible. She was standout for me when it comes to catching. She, as the vice captain, led the way, in my opinion, in the field, and it's nice to see. But yeah, coming back to Smriti, it shows her class. If I was struggling and I looked that way, I'll take it any day, all day. So
Exactly.
yeah, I think her length, the way she picks up length, is incredible, and that is why she's so successful.
Of course, that is why she's so successful. Another 50 for Smriti Mandhana, but there was another 50 for Mithali Raj as well. And she scored, I think, so her 12th World Cup ODI 50, and becomes at the top of that run chart, surpassing Debbie Hockley's 11 ODI 50s at the World Cup. Another classy innings, 68 of 84, 8 fours in that innings. We were speaking about that she's that glue which sticks everything together, and she showed again why she's that glue that sticks everything together. Another innings. Boria, your thoughts on that Mithali Raj innings? Classy. Of course, the way we see Mithali Raj always.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, 15 of 32 balls. Again, the people were starting to sort of question strike rate, but that's class. Remember Mahendra Singh Dhoni from last night? I tweeted it also. I mean, exactly, class is permanent, right? I mean, Mahendra Singh Dhoni took his time last night, and then we saw what happened. Today, Mithali Raj took her time at the start, then we saw what happened, and all of a sudden, those shots were flowing. The cuts were there, the pulls were there, those deft touches through third man. Beautiful innings. I mean, you know, and look at it, at the end of it, 71 of 84 for Smriti, 68 of 84 for Mithali. So almost similar kind of strike rates. And again, the middle period, which is so very important at a time when South Africa was sort of 2 wickets down, Yastika out, all of a sudden pressure was on India. Mithali Raj got it together. Harman was finding it difficult. Maybe the wicket was slowing down. At that point also, Mithali was the one who kept it going with those deft shots. Brilliant. I just hope this is not her last innings. I mean, I would be hell disappointed if this is her last innings. Fingers crossed. This shouldn't be her last. And in 68 in this fashion, you want to see Mithali Raj play at least one more time, if not in that semi-final.
At least one more time. Just for an update, Mithali Raj, the first time she scored a World Cup 50 was in 2000 in New Zealand at the Hatley Oval in Christchurch against South Africa. And if this happens to be her last, it's Hagley Oval, it's Christchurch against South Africa in New Zealand in a World Cup. So that is how the entire circle has been. We also hope that she plays in the semi-finals and the finals. Just for an update for our viewers, England have beaten Bangladesh by 100 runs and have qualified for that semi-finals. They will most likely face South Africa in the first semi-final in Wellington. But of course, let's come back to this particular game. It's now going to be India versus West Indies. If India wins, India qualifies. If West Indies wins, if India loses, West Indies qualify. So it's all going to be in this particular innings what happens. We've spoken about Mithali Raj, we've spoken about Smriti Mandhana, we've spoken about Shafali Verma. Maybe one more batter we can speak about, that's Harmanpreet Kaur. The major part about that Harman innings that I want to speak about is not that she scored 48 or 57, is more or less that did you feel, Dane, as a player, that the pitch had slowed down and that was the reason Harman was not able to clear? Because she was certainly trying, but the ball was not coming onto the bat as it was in the early part of the innings, and she was not able to clear it out. And then is it going to be difficult for the South Africa batters to do something similar?
Yeah, look, it's one of two things, you know. Maybe Shafali just made it look a lot easier. You know, we've seen a lot of innings in this World Cup that batters made a wicket look a lot easier than probably what it was. So it's one or two things, in my opinion. Again, I'm not there to I guess, assess the wicket, but watching it, absolutely, I think. Also, if the ball gets softer, it's harder to hit it. So, and also think South Africa just honed their plans, you know, in and then made sure that they execute a little bit more, and it looked like they took the pace off. You know, credit to Ayabonga Kaka on their last over, backing a four on the leg side field as well. And it was never easy, especially against somebody like Harman, that you've got the whole offside up. So I think the plans of the South Africans was, you know, I think they just executed their plans maybe a little bit better and assessed the wicket, you know, maybe a little bit later than what they wanted to. But I think the way they brought it back, especially against somebody like Arman, you know, but again, a very good innings from her. Spoke about the seniors picking up their hands, and that's what you want in a high pressure match, is your seniors picking up their hand, and surely India's senior batters did. And you know, just credit to India as well, just Deepti coming in at 9, like stuff like that. You know, making sure that their plans are spot on when it comes to that. Somebody that can really strike the ball coming in at 9. You know, you never quite feel like there's you know, I guess a tail ender, if you call it that way, coming in. So credit to India on that front, and then obviously credit to South Africa for bringing back, you know, bringing it back after the start that they had.
Bringing it back after the start that they had. I'm going to take the viewers through the bowling scorecard now. Shabnim Ismail, 10 overs, 2 for 42. This happens after she was smacked for 30 in the first 3. So the last 7 overs just went for 12 runs and she took 2 wickets. This is her second and third spell. Marizan Cup, not to the best of her standards. 9 overs, none for 56. Same goes with Kaka, 9 overs, 1 for 58. For me, the pick of the bowlers consistently was Chloe Tryon, 10 overs, 1 for 51, and her efforts on the field. Masabata Class, 8 overs, 2 for 38. And Sunili's 4 overs, none for 26. Let me first come down to Chloe Tryon's all efforts with the ball and also with the catching. She was just phenomenal, and I think so she was everywhere on the field. 10 overs, 1 for 51 for Chloe, and those catches of Mandhana and Mithali. She was basically everywhere on the field. What's that kind of athlete that Chloe is, Dani?
Yeah, look, I use this word a lot, but Chloe is a massive, wholehearted cricketer. You know, I think her hard work in the last couple of years, or I guess not years, but I think in the last couple of months has shone through and shown. You know, the way she's worked, the way she not just, I guess, physically, but mentally worked on a game. You can see that Chloe's a different animal at the moment, and it's nice to see. That's the Chloe Tryon you want to see, the destructive, the attacking Chloe Tryon, and seeing her running around on the field like that, it makes me personally very proud, because I know firsthand the work that she's put in and the work that she's you know, and I guess everything she's gone through, so to get there. So obviously very proud, I guess, moment as a friend, not a captain, as a friend. And yeah, the fact that you mentioned, it looked like she was everywhere. It shows you she's a boundary rider. I laughed at the West Indies series. I said, hey, boundary rider, you know. Generally Mia was in the inner ring, and again, that's testament to the work that she's put in as a person, as a cricketer, and as an individual. So yeah, it was so good to see. Good to watch, seeing her bowling as well. You know, taking a couple of wickets and just having fun out there. And you know, she's such a leader within that side. You know, people just automatically follow her, not just within the South African setup, but around the world. whichever team she's in. She's a natural born leader. And yeah, it's showing, and I'm just glad she's picking up her hand as a vice captain, and she's doing really well.
Vice captain, bowler, fielder, and hopefully a hard hitting batter today. That is Chloe Tryon. But there was a very slight moment when Harman had hit a four on the boundary. I just felt Chloe did a little too much. She could have just bounced on those LED lights and could have again got injured. Nobody wanted that to happen, and hopefully it didn't. But she should not take those kind of risks. That is what I feel. Let's come down to Shabnim Ismail. We've spoken about her, but if we divide her into two parts today, 3 overs for 30 when Shafali was batting, and post the second and third spell, 7 overs, 2 for 12. Moria, what do you feel? She's an athlete that you want in the team. She is your fiery bowler. Of course, she went for 3 overs for 30, but then that comeback, 7 overs, 2 for 12, that is too different, and it is insane bowling.
If South Africa win, that is the spell that's going to win them this game. Rather, two spells. 3 overs, one made in 3 runs was the second spell, and then that final spell. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, the way she used the short ball against Mithali at one point was 17 balls for 4 runs. You know, clearly she was the bowler on song. She used the short ball beautifully, hit the deck hard. She's got pace in any case, has a huge heart, because to be able to come back, like Dene said, after sort of conceding 30 of 3, tells you how good mentally you are, your temperament. You are super strong to be able to do that. So as I said, for me, the standout was Shabnim Ismail. Yes, I know Chloe Tryon, brilliant in the field and all of it, took the pace off the ball, but somebody who's gone for 30 of 3 to be able to come back 10 overs for 42-2, brilliant, brilliant. So in my book, among the South African bowlers, if South Africa win today, I would be tempted to say Shabnim Ismail did the trick, and who knows. I just hope that doesn't happen. But in any case, Shabnim Ismail was a rock star with that spell of hers, the second and third spell.
Hopefully, yes. Let's come down to the chase now. They have 275 runs to chase. That's going to be one of the highest totals. Except if you just remove Australia out of the picture, this is going to be the highest chase ever in a World Cup match. Dane, what do you feel South Africa needs to do right in order to chase this mammoth total of 275? They just can't go below 5 and a half an over today.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that the wicket might look like it's slowing up a little bit at the back end. So I think maybe when the ball's new and hard, maybe taking that on a little bit, maybe putting the Indian openers under pressure. We know how good they are, but yeah, my pick is I hope that Lazelle comes off. And yeah, well, I've been overcritical on Laura Goodall. I think she showed her class in many games, and hopefully she can find her feet as well at number 3 and really take it to the Indian bowlers, maybe just that left-hand combination as well that South Africa picked. Maybe that changes the lines and the lengths a little bit for the Indian bowlers. And yeah, Sunay has been in great form. She's been leading the way as a captain when it comes to the batting. So yeah, and they obviously have. I can go down the whole batting lineup, but I think South Africa should just be as positive as they want, and find first of all the pace of the wicket, and then find a way the way they did at the back end with the ball as well. It's just about making sure that you assess the wicket as soon as possible and make your plans and make sure that you execute as a batter. I think it's going to take a massive effort, but we've seen how the South African batters has really gotten together and really under pressure have won games. They've got Marizan Cup and Chloe Tryon and even Trisha Chetty at the back end there that can really win you games. So I think it's about just assessing also what you're happy chasing in the last 10 and with how many wickets in hand. I think that's going to be crucial as well. I don't think you want to leave too many at the back end because we identified it might slow up a little bit. So yeah, it's going to take a massive effort, but and no doubt that the South African batting arsenal has that in, I guess in their bag.
Is Lizelle going to be the most important player for South Africa today? That's going to be my important question, because the way Shafali Verma changed the game for India, we feel Lizelle is going to be the most important player for South Africa today if they want to chase down a mammoth score of 275.
Yeah, I do. I do. I said again, you can't keep a good player down. Certainly, I have not maybe performed as well as she wanted to, but I've always believed in Lizelle and backed her, and yeah, she's massive part in that batting lineup. Just having her there just makes the team confident, and just one hit away. I always believe that, and yeah, as you mentioned, if she has the same as Shafali, and certainly she can. She's got the power, she's got the experience, and if she can get the team off to a flyer, it'll make everybody else's job a lot easier. And then obviously Laura Wolfert has been incredible as well. Yeah, but I just need to mention it's something I have not. Yes. Shabs was brilliant, but Masabata class coming back in from injury and doing what she did, I just wanted to put it in there and give her a shout out. She was incredible as well. Not easy coming back, not bowling much, and especially recovering from a bit of an eagle. Yeah, that shows you how good she is as well. So I just had to say that.
Let's come down to that Indian bowling. Boria, if we see, we have Vastarkar and Deepti Sharma as death bowlers today, proper death bowlers. You have the other three who bowl at the start and in the middle overs, especially Rajeshwari Gaikwad, Meghna Singh at the start, Sneha Rana in the middle. You basically have your bowling sorted. What do you feel the Indian bowlers need to do to restrict South Africa to anything less than 274 and qualify for that semi-finals?
Yes, there are some internet issues going on, but if I heard you right, what do they need to do? Pick wickets consistently. That's what you need to do. Pick wickets consistently when you have a 275 on the board. If you are able to break partnerships, if you are able to put consistent pressure, no team will find it easy. And as Dinesh said, 275 is a massive score. You've got to believe you've got enough. You've got to believe you can get them all out. Try and pick wickets. The moment you're good enough for Yash. So the important thing for India at the top is to have a decentish power play, not let Lizelle tee off, and maybe if you can get a couple of wickets in the first, then you're in business. If you ask me, it's 55-45 India. India has the variety in spin. The pitch is 150 overs old already, so India should not at any point in time feel overawed. And Mithali Raj will have a major role, as will Harmanpreet Kaur. Rally around the resources. Tell them that this is a match where we have to give up 200%, not 100, and try and win it.
Not 100, of course. You have to give your 200%. I'm sure Mithali Raj will be doing it. I'm sure that the other Indian players will be doing it. They, of course, do not want this to be Julian Goswami's not playing last match. So, of course, you would want Julian Goswami to play one more time. And if that has to happen, India has to play that semi-finals. Let's do the predictions. Dane, how many overs for South Africa to chase?
Yeah, again, I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, but I need to back the side and, believe they can chase that down. And I think it'll be a massive feather in their cap when they, chase a score like that against a good bowling attack. So, yeah, I think it'll come down to the wire. Probably say 47th, 48th. They've definitely given me grey hairs in this World Cup when it comes to stress. So, yeah, hopefully not today, but again, it's not going to be easy. But I need to back the side and believe that they can chase that, and I think they should try and give it a massive go. Again, it's going to give them massive confidence going into a very important semi-final. So good luck to them.
Going into that final, this is going to be a massive confidence booster if they are to win this. Boria, what do you feel? India is going to win this. If so, how soon are they going to win this?
I think it will be by 30-35 runs. I think South Africa will give us a scare, but I think India will win. South Africa will get about 240-ish is what I think. But I think India will win this. And I somehow have this belief. Big people have put their hand up, big players have put their hand up. And as I said, no one's talked about Deepti Sharma. Don't be surprised if a 3-wicket haul or a 4-wicket haul comes to Deepti Sharma.
That's here from us at the mid show. The equation is simple. India has to win and they qualify. If India loses, West Indies qualify. So there are at least 2 countries or rather many countries. West Indies is a formation of 7-8 countries. So of course there are many countries which are staying awake right now just to see which country is qualifying. Is India going to qualify? Is the Caribbean going to qualify? Who are going to qualify in that semi-finals? We will meet you at the post show. Till then, this is it from the outside view.